I, like you, are really passionate about keeping my horses and my pets healthy, and have learned over the last 20 years that by using holistic therapies and natural supplements, you can rebalance many chronic diseases and also prevent many diseases occurring in the first place. And I'm going to share with you some secrets today that, if followed in easy steps, will produce very good results, which in turn will help prevent many of the equine modern diseases we're seeing today. So where are we going wrong? The horse's diet is still the same as it was all those hundreds of years ago. It basically eats grass and lots of it. Unfortunately, evolution, however, has changed where the horse's body has not. And we have stripped out, for want of a better word, all the nutrients that were in the soil, that were in the grass, that would feed the horse's body structurally and functionally. So now, unfortunately, the horse is really dependent on us making sure that it gets the right nutrients into its body on a daily basis. That, unfortunately, is where it all starts to go wrong. There are now record numbers of metabolic diseases, laminitis, navicular, gastric ulcers, and on every yard there's always behavioural problems. If you follow 3 simple steps, I can show you how to prevent many of these diseases occurring in the first place, as well as helping to rebalance the unfortunate horses that have these chronic ailments. So number 1 is to check your feed. How many of you actually know what your horse's feed actually contains? Horses, as we've already discussed very briefly, eat fibre and lots of it. But this contains 35%. You're looking for the highest fibre as possible, and no sugar and no starch. You need to check the bags that actually say contain no sugar and starch. So it's always important to check that you predominantly are feeding a grass-based fibre feed, whether it's a chop like this one, which is just literally a grass chop, or a grass nut. And I would suggest that your horses actually come off of anything that is cereal-based and go onto a grass-based product, because their body can actually absorb it much, much more effectively. So step number 2 is the horse's gut. The horse's gut is incredibly important, as it actually contains 80% of the immune system. But predominantly it contains your good and bad bacteria. The immune system is incredibly important, as it's responsible for fighting pathogenic bacteria and viruses that invade the body, but as well as being able to absorb the nutrients correctly into the body in the first place. Without absorption of nutrients, the horse's body will not structurally and functionally work correctly. Also, it leaves the horse open to spasmodic colicking and gastric ulcers occurring in the first place. So I would definitely recommend that you use an effective microbe, which is a liquid soil-based bacteria that is also responsible for actually removing fermenting waste in the hindgut. So step number 2, definitely daily give your horse an EM probiotic. Step number 3 is absolutely vital. My research and studies have shown that pretty much all horses in the UK, and ponies, are deficient in amino acids, because they are not found in any of the feeds or any of the supplements. But amino acids are incredibly important, because they're actually the building blocks of protein for your horse's protein body. And they're responsible for the structural proteins and the functional proteins. So your structural will actually be all of your horse's connective tissues, the muscles, bone, blood, and to a lesser degree the cells that actually go to build your horse's body. They're also responsible for the functional proteins, which are your horse's thyroid, the pituitary gland, the hormones, insulin. Also, 3 amino acids are responsible for your horse's behaviour, and serotonin will be produced by these. So these will work to keep your horse in a calm and focused manner. In fact, without amino acids, your horse's body will not actually work. So they are vital to actually be putting into your horse's diet on a daily basis. And if fed in conjunction with your probiotic, you'll find that you will prevent so many of these chronic diseases that I've already mentioned, as well as prevent them. And you will literally start seeing results in your horse's well-being and physical body within 10 to 14 days. So if you want to see improvements in your horse's well-being today, then why don't you contact us for your horse's ProMix starter kit.